What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. We are playing some Dragonheir Silent Gods. This is a sponsored video, so huge shout out to Dragonheir for sponsoring the video. I really appreciate it. You can download the game using the link in my description as well as the pinned comment. Guys, there's also a promo code for you all to enter as well, so be sure to hop on that while it is still active. The game is available on Windows as well as Mac. You can get it on Epic and Steam players as well as iOS and Android mobile platforms. There is a ton of stuff coming in this new season of Dragonheir. Dive deep, battle peak is the new slogan because the new sandbox is called the Sea of the Dead. So it is another underwater sandbox, which I gladly welcome. I was really happy with Aethercarn, the beach feel. You get to quest out on the sea, you go on your boat, you can even go under the water. It was visually very appealing. I really enjoyed it, and they've got a ton more coming. We've got 31 new heroes, new damage types, as well as new bosses. We've also got a Dungeons and Dragons collab to look forward to. Not sure exactly who that champion is going to be, but if you have any idea of some Dungeons and Dragons characters that you like, or some of that are the most popular, go ahead and put them in the comments for me below. Let me know who you think the new D&D collab is going to be. Of course, there's going to be a fourth firing summon where you have an opportunity to get new champions, as well as the exclusive banner for starting the new season that gives you some guaranteed legendary pulls based on how you placed in your Clepsydra trial at the end of the previous season. So opportunity to get some of those new champs, and they are amazing, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, is the new champs. So we have 3 new damage types. We have corrosion, shadow, and aura. We're going to be looking at the shadow champs today. They are a necrosis elemental affinity, and we've got 7 of them here. We have 1 rare, we have 3 epics, and 3 legendary shadow champions. Now the shadow champions bring a completely different element to the game because they're not completely running on the same ultimate energy meter, if you will, as everyone else. But let's look at the champions. And like I was saying, they have this they have their own energy that they're pretty much going off of for their ultimate abilities. It is shadow energy, right? So these champions gain shadow energy, and they're able to use their ultimate skills once they have accrued a certain amount of shadow energy. They can also grant shadow energy to other champions, so other shadow champions that is, and enable them to do a bit more damage as well, as Espalta does with her passive ability. So let's briefly take a look at their kits and see just kind of what they can do. So let's start with Espalta, since she's first. They all have a very similar passive. Dealing damage is going to grant them all shadow energy on their passive, but she has this Heart of Hate where she's going to grant 100 stacks of Heart of Hate to all shadow allies and loses 1 stack of this status every 1 second after. So pretty much you have this increased damage for every stack, which is pretty huge because that's going to start you off with 50% extra damage. Huge. On her basic battle skill, she's going to throw a shadow blade at the target, dealing 300% necrotic damage to them and 200% attack to enemies within the target center range. In the meantime, gains 10 shadow energy for each enemy hit and gains an additional 200% shadow energy when casting this skill in battle for the first time. So solid champion for wave-based content, any of the goblin, anything where there are multiple enemies. So any of those areas where we have to go and clear them, all clear those areas, she seems like she would be pretty good there. Her ultimate ability is going to grant 20 shadow energy to all shadow allies, strikes enemies within range 3 times, with each strike dealing 200% attack necrotic energy, also ignoring 50% of the enemy's defense. And so they're getting a boost of shadow energy to everyone, as well as dealing some major damage. She also has a captain aura that increases attack by 30% in all battles, which is huge. We don't have a a ton of champs in the game to have an attack aura, especially for everywhere. That is pretty huge. Next champ is Daphne, and just based on the kit, Daphne seems more of an enabler, but she could probably do some okay damage for you. I read through the kit briefly. She also has an attack aura, but it's only for dungeons, but 45% is huge. Now her passive obviously is going to be the same starting out. Get shadow energy from dealing damage. When she has enough, she can cast the ultimate skill. She gains an additional 20% shadow energy. That is exclusive to her. Also, if the hero possesses a target when gaining shadow energy, the possessed target gains the same amount of shadow energy. She possesses an ally on her ultimate ability, so another opportunity to grant some shadow energy to an ally. But we'll get to that in a second. On the battle skill, randomly attacks up to 3 enemies, dealing 350% attack necrotic damage and gaining 10 shadow energy on each enemy hit. This skill can be cast when possessing an ally as well, so she can use her battle skill while she is using her ultimate skill. I'm not sure that many champs in the game do that, if they do it at all, but I do, I have thought about it. I just haven't looked into it. On her ultimate ability, possesses an ally for 15 seconds, during which time the possessed target deals 80% attack necrotic damage to nearby enemies every 1 second. The possessed target gains attack up equal to 35% of Daphne's attack. When the possessed target deals damage, 8% of the damage dealt will be converted to their HP. What does that even mean? Converted to their HP, so they will receive the damage instead? I'm not even sure what that means. Did they gain HP or do they take damage? It's worded pretty weird, I will say. We're gonna take a look at it in action and see exactly what it looks like. Next champ is the exclusive champ. This is Ozul, and this guy is freaking amazing. Also has an attack aura, but it is for Grand Gladiator arena battles, 45%, which is huge. This guy has an exclusive artifact as well. Is pretty sweet, gives them like 40% crit rate or something crazy. We'll take a look at it and after the kit, but obviously passive similar to the others. The hero permanently gains 1 stack of undispellable host imprint for every 50 shadow energy obtained, up to 5 stacks. So each stack increases his crit damage by 10% and defense penetration by 5%. So he's getting crit damage from here. If you have him with Espalta is also just increasing damage there as well. So pretty solid passive ability. And he can gain, up to 50% crit damage with that. And what is that? 25% defense penetration. This is really, really solid for an exclusive. On the battle skill, fires an orb at the target, dealing 330% attack necrotic damage to the target and enemies around them. When the hero is in demon form, deals 600% attack necrotic damage to enemies within 2 tiles around the hero instead, then gains 20 shadow energy. So when he is in demon form, that is after he has used his ultimate, and his ultimate transforms him into a demon in the designated location. While the demon form, the hero gains attack speed up, damage reduction with their basic attack splashing on enemies around the target, then deals 750% attack necrotic damage to enemies within range. The hero consumes 10 shadow energy every 1 second in demon form, and then exits when the shadow energy is depleted. Now, I tested this a little bit. This guy is amazing, but in Goblin is pretty tricky because whenever he transforms back into his regular form, he has to go back into his body, which might be all the way at the beginning of the Goblin fight, and then run all the way back forward. So a bit counterproductive, but these guys have a lot going on. Those are the main shadow champs, and obviously we have a few others here. I'm not going to test these all out today, but I did briefly look through the kits. This one, Tatoth, seems okay. Chitter did not seem great just based on a read. These other guys, they don't seem that great compared to the Legos, not even remotely close, but I would need to honestly test them to see how they stack up without, without testing. I can't for sure say, but just based on the read, we can already see the multipliers there. We kind of know who's going to be good and who's not. So let's go ahead and take a look at these champs and see where we can actually, let's look at his exclusive artifact really quickly and just see what it does. So he gets crit rate and attack, and he gains 35% crit rate resist. Additionally, increases the damage of Ozul's basic attack by 25% when he is in demon form. What does crit rate resist mean? I'm not even sure what this means, guys. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna lie. But let's go see what these champs can do. So first, we might as well start out because we're here in Goblin, and we started out running Goblin with these guys. But let's just see what they could do, who's doing damage, how they're doing damage. We're just gonna do one run on auto. I'm not gonna click anything. We're just gonna observe. As you can see, they have the purple shadow energy down here in the right corner, and it looks like Daphne is going first, so she's going to possess someone. I wonder if while she is possessed, she actually stops the person that she has possessed from using, their skills, their battle skill, their ultimate skill. Like, I wonder exactly how that works, but I guess we'll see it. This guy is doing some crazy damage, but as you can see, he has to go back and his body has to run all the way forward now because he just went back into his normal form. He's doing great damage. It looks like right now Espalta is doing the most damage. She's actually doing some ridiculous damage. But these guys gain energy very fast because they're constantly boosting each other's shadow energy, which I feel like is a really cool mechanic. I feel like being able to boost ultimate energy, those champs that do that, boost ultimate energy, reduce ultimate energy, were some of the strongest champs in the game for, me as a low spender, somewhat free to play for the majority of the time that I've been playing this game. Those champions that could like get you a few extra seconds because they boost your ultimate energy, or you have something that's boosting your ultimate energy, or boosting your skill haste so that you can get your ultimate energy quicker. Those champions were very, very, very game changing for me. And the fact that these champs can, all boost one another's shadow energy, I feel like it's huge. It's gonna be game changing. These champs are definitely gonna be game changing. As far as like speed running things, I could see these guys doing that very, very quickly with the right setup. So as you can see in Goblin, doing it pretty fast. There are faster teams for sure. This team isn't like optimized. There's a tank in there. There's a random, support champ in there as well. Just someone I leveled up so we could go in and test them out in various places to see how they're gonna work. So obviously we could have a much faster run there, but a minute 11, it's not terrible. Also not, the best. Now, the place that we really want to see these guys shine is in the vortex. We want to see just how much damage they could do on the vortex. Now, the team is not set up. I'm not going to create a skill timing for it. I guess I should, and we could do that really quickly. Yeah, let's just set up a quick skill timer here. This would be a great tutorial for anyone who doesn't know about skill timing. So the boss is actually on a 20-second rotation here, but this ultimate has a bit of a delay. It's not going to hit until like 21 or so, or 21.5, something like that. So I just have one champ that I really want to. That's the tank. She places attack penalty. Let's just make sure we always get attack penalty right when the boss is about to use that, and we'll have that just be our attack penalty there. And we can take Nathaniel's shield as well at the same time. Or actually, you know what? That's the AoE. Let's take Nathaniel's shield around 11.5, because that'll be right after, and we'll just put that on a 20-second rotation. We need 20-second rotation because the boss is technically on a 20-second rotation. Everybody else can let's just let them move freely, and let's see how much damage they do in here, right? We have attack penalty, we have some shield. The skill, I don't know why it does that. Why does it not turn on the skill time? Now it's on. All right. Oh wait, and we have our attack aura. All right, cool. So let's see how much damage these guys can do. We are on difficulty 3. I've not unlocked difficulty 4 yet. But let's just see how much damage these guys can do. We do have some shields in there, a little bit of heal, but not much. We don't have a ton of heals in. We do have attack penalty is going to help us out a bit with some of the smacks on the boss, but not all of them. But let's just see how much damage these guys do. Already in 30 seconds, we are at almost 2. Is that 2 mil? Yes, we are already at 2.5 mil. So they're doing some pretty good damage, I must say. And it looks like the exclusive, he is just doing ridiculous damage. He's actually doing almost all of the damage. And they're just jumping up. This is actually crazy. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit, and then we'll come back and see just how much damage we ended up with this team. Obviously it's going to get you the top chest here, but let's see like what the threshold is, the damage threshold is for these shadow champs. So we made it to the end. Obviously we got top chest. The damage 28 mil is not bad at all. 5-minute run, 28 mil without actual support in there, actual heals in there. That's pretty solid. The exclusive champion obviously did the bulk of the damage. He did 18 mil by himself, followed by Daphne, who actually did the next most, and then Espalta, who didn't do much. So it seems like she's way better for, you know, goblin areas like that where you need to just kill people quickly. She's probably the one to choose. The exclusive probably also still going to be very good there, but he just shoots light years ahead as far as vortex damage. So this guy's definitely worth I would say any hype, if there is any. I would 100% go for this exclusive champion for sure and try to get his artifact. I know it is very difficult to do, especially for people who are not spending, people who are, you know, free to play. But this dude is amazing. Shadow Heroes, amazing. I would love to test them out in some of the other content as well. I've not had the chance. I've also not leveled up proper teams to do all of the dungeons, but so far damage is pretty good. I like the fact that they're ignoring some defense. They're increasing damage with passives, increasing, you know, it's crit damage and penetration, boosting one another's, you know, ultimate or shadow energy. Solid champions for sure. Next, we probably are going to take a look at corrosion, as well as we have aura here, which is probably going to be the one that is least used, but I'm sure, you know, people in the community will find a way to make them shine. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Thank you for tuning in as always. Please try the game out if you have not already. It is a great game. I actually really enjoy it, and you can download it using the link in my description as well as the pinned comment. Don't forget to use that promo code as well that is down there, guys. Plenty of good goodies for you all. But until next time, thank you as always. Be good and be well.